I have a GE dehumidifier here. It's probably about 5 years old. The fan's been running and everything, but I noticed the humidity was getting a little higher. So looking into it, coming to find out it's not pulling moisture out of the air. So I'm going to go ahead and tear it apart. I have no clue what I'm doing. So normally I have this hooked up to a hose and just comes out and drains the whole time. What I noticed, if you look in here, that big old pile of rust right there. And it's all dry. So this hasn't been running for a while. The fan just runs, but it hasn't been pulling moisture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tear this apart. Here's the model. Anyway, like I said, I have no idea how to do this. I'm just going to kind of tear into it and see what happens. And hopefully I can fix it. Okay, so you just take all the screws out. So far it looks like all the screws are the same size, so you don't have to worry about keeping them separated. And I'm assuming this will just pull right off. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and take off this front part. Okay, before I rip off the front, there's a screw right here. Also, looks like there's one right here. Okay, now that I got the covers and everything off, took off the back, got the front off, check this out. Look at all this rust in here. And of course, as the water drips down, comes in here. So all this rust, and keep in mind, I'm not a professional, I have no clue what I'm doing, but I can guarantee this rust isn't good. So I started looking at it closer, and over on this side is doing it as well. But if you notice, everything's kind of dry, but when you come down here, see how it has that oily residue? Especially on the bottoms, right here, up there's kind of oily, down there is all oily. So my unprofessional guess is the Freon has leaked out of this thing. Like I said, this thing's only about 4 or 5 years old. It lasted a whole lot longer than the other brand I had. So it looks like I just need to get a new one. I tested a few parts on this and everything seems to be testing okay. So my unprofessional guess is the Freon leaked out. So I'm going to buy a new one. I'm going to buy the exact same model. That way, if that one dies after 4 or 5 years for a different cause, I got all these parts that I can switch out. Okay, so the whole idea of posting this video is I searched and searched and I couldn't find anything related to rust on here, about the refrigerant leaking out or anything. So when I was searching, the good indication was if there's oily residue on the refrigerant when it leaks out. So maybe this will help somebody else instead of wasting time like I did. Okay, if you found this helpful, please go ahead and subscribe. Help me out. Help me out so I can buy a new dehumidifier. All right, thanks.